Hello, Randall Monk and Rana Vazane here from Reno, Nevada with a gem of wisdom from Archangel Michael.
Hello everyone, glad to be with you again.
This gem actually comes from the June 2021 message. Remember, when you are infused with the light of spirit, it affects everything and everyone around you. As your radiance grows and expands, you will draw more and more like-minded people into your sphere of awareness. The spiritual trumpet to awaken is growing louder, and it is reverberating throughout the land into the most sparsely populated places of the earth, as well as the most densely populated areas. The light has no favorites. It will infuse and bless everyone or anything that is receptive to and in harmony with its transforming, invigorating energies.
Understand this. We were programmed, even though we came down into the density of the first, second, third, and fourth, and fifth, which is the outermost density that we have projected out into. We were programmed to stay in communication with the levels of our higher self, the beings of light, and actually with the God mind through all of that step down energy. And so we have just forgotten. As we know, we've been on a starvation diet more ways than one. A lack of light, a diminished light, and also diminished intellect, and the diminished capacity to gain that inner wisdom. We listen to everything now. We listen to the outer world. That's our reality. What's going on out there, what everybody says, what you hear, what you read, what you take in. And so we have to begin again. We started from the inside and moved outward. We now have to find that center within us. And that is why we go through the process of the breathing and the toning, and we've said all this before, clearing the way, clearing the static and all of the distortion. So once again, we can begin to communicate. The first wisdom and higher learning or important inner knowing that you're going to get is from your own higher intellect. We need to remember that we were programmed to stay in communication with the higher realms. But as we sank down into the density, and especially into the fourth, third, and our reality now, we focused on the outward communication, the outward world, what was going on, what was being said, what we learned, what we were taught. And so the first thing that we need to do is to first clear the static. To clear, that's why we've gone through all of the process, the quest for mastery teachings and so on, balancing and harmonizing the chakra system, toning, breathing, and becoming aware of our thoughts, and learning to stay in the now moment. So for the quietness, the meditation, all of those tools are so instrumental in returning to that inner voice, listening to the whisper of spirit. And the first inclinations, the first things that you will begin to get when you turn inward and become attuned will be the higher wisdom of your own intellect. And then you'll open your sacred mind and you'll begin to open up those light packets, those memory seeds, those light packets of wisdom that are stored within your sacred mind. And then you'll reach up into your soul star, where the facet of your oversoul resides. And in the beginning, when we come down, we do not bring down all of that soul consciousness, all the memory seed atoms, all the gifts, all the talents, all the opportunities. We do not download our full divine blueprint. And so that's when the magic begins. That's when you get to the point where you begin to get the ahas. And if you listen, and if you heed, and if you take the right action, webinars and some of the seminars we've had in the past, we have called Fast Track to Ascension. That's what you're on now. There's no more time to fool around. There's no more time to dabble and to just play at your spirituality. Because as you know, the knocks, the challenges, the tests, they're coming very quickly to everyone, even to us. They may be more subtle, and we're more aware of them, and we're able to understand and transmute them and move through them more quickly as we gain the lesson and the wisdom from it. But everyone is, whether you want to or not, and whether you know it or not, you are being nudged and pushed onto the path of ascension. And that entails turning inward so that you can begin to get your inner wisdom. That intuitive knowing. We can talk to you all day. You can read and read and read every day and get some knowledge and get some understanding. But until you begin to attune to yourself, to your higher self, and I've told you this before, first you are functioning with your instinctual mind, then with your intellect, then with your intuitive mind, and then finally the illumined mind. And so when you get to the point where you are downloading you're going to download the new divine blueprint to a degree, but maybe it's just a very trickle down. And how about that storehouse of wisdom that I've talked about, that when you get to a certain point and you're heart-centered and you're soul-centered and you're listening and you've balanced a good portion of 50% of your karma, and you're only sending out even 1% positive energy, you are going to tap into your personal divine blueprint, your divine blueprint for the coming age for Aquarius, as well as that storehouse of adamantine particles in the root chakra, and also that other little memory seed atom with those lessons, those last lessons that you have to clear from your body, so that the cells of your body, your physical vessel, is starving for that frequency, for the love light. And so, listen up. Begin to listen. Begin to take the nudging seriously. And we've never had as much help as we've got now. You take one step and he'll move you ahead at least 5 steps, I promise you. But we can talk all day and we can tell you our stories and you can say yes, but you have to do the work. And so we're counting on you because you're needed. We are all needed. We all have a facet of that divine blueprint or that tapestry of the coming age. Join us, please.
Thank you, Rana. Yes, it says in here that when you are infused with the light of spirit, it affects everything and everyone around you, and it does indeed do that. And it also says that it will draw more and more like-minded people to you. Well, we're always drawing like-minded people to ourselves. The question is, what is the quality? Because it's always a reflection of what's in here. So whatever we're sending out, we're attracting to ourselves.
Exactly.
And so why not raise one's vibration and attract high vibrational people, high vibrational events, high vibrational circumstances into our lives? That's what it's all about.
And as Michael said, you can tell how you're doing by the people you draw to you.
That's right. It's
So
not
y'all
always,
come.
sometimes it's a beautiful picture and sometimes it's not such a pretty picture. But people around us in our environment, they're reflecting back to us our frequency. And so are our circumstances and what we go through in life. Yep. Much love and many blessings.
We love you. Take care. Be
Bye
well.
for now.
Bye-bye.